Sorry, Gundram, but it's true.
But the other thing is that after this all came to fruition, I don't really want to turn this into a Marty Reed bash fest.
No, I like Marty Reed.
I like Marty Reed too. But after this all came to
one of my favorite songs is that old El Paso song. I really like that song.
Video surfaced on YouTube of a few more of his gaffes that he had on air.
Oh, and we don't have that. Oh, I have to look that up for next week.
Oh, I should have pulled that up here, and we could have had it. But one of them was he went on the air to start one of the nationwide races, and, of course, they cut to them in the booth, and he's there, and like we have done, and we have done this as well. I gotta say this: we have done this. Hey, welcome to the race. I'm Marty Reed, along with 47-time champion, one of the great race car drivers of all time that has ever raced, and is Dale Jarrett, and
yeah, we have done
and our resident crew chief, and he totally forgot Andy Petrie's name and just kind of like went on. And
I love him.
I feel sorry for him because I've been there.
Show next week.
I've been there and I've done that because you could see that he was scrambling because he had just lost Dale Jarrett. He lost Dale Jarrett's name. And it took him so much to try and come up with Dale Jarrett's name that he just totally. Yeah. So,
NASCAR Hall of Famer, two-time Vinny.
That's right. Drove that 18 car.
I'm sorry to hear that. Who's going to be driving? Well, there's nobody going to be doing their show next year, so they don't really need him anyway.
Well,
right?
he's there next year. They're there next year, supposedly, unless they get bought out. So he won't be there. He's not there anymore. So Alan Bestwick is filling in for him, but I liked Andy.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Marty Robbins.
Marty Reed.
Marty Robbins. Marty Reed. Yeah.
See, I did it too.
Andy Robbins.
But hey, this stuff happens. But I think it's But he honestly, again, he has done drag racing for ESPN and ABC. He's done IndyCar, NASCAR. I mean, he's been around the block a bit with that group, and he was just unceremoniously fired. So I don't know if that was all.
You ever watch him much when he's like doing some of their other shows? I mean, he's kind of there's something just kind of weird about him. Yeah. But I thought he did a good job. His voice is good.
He is the only broadcaster I know that there's just something weird about it.
Well, yeah. That was probably not the statement I should have made.
Yeah, I understand. I see where you're going. So anyhow. That's the exciting thing. Also, just breaking news.
Oh, good.
We should have that sounder.
Goodness.
Breaking news.
Yeah, what can we do? Hey, can you come up with a breaking news sounder over there sometime?
We got the breaking news salute. That's for we didn't get the.
That's for those of you
news
who are watching this in sign language.
We should have that on the inset all the time on the show. We could have Beth over there doing a sign language.
Closed caption people.
I didn't know our show was closed caption.
Neither did I. God, that's the funniest thing I've seen all week.
I don't even know what the heck you said.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Something about the sounder.
Oh, anyhow, breaking news. Breaking news is that 2014 Ford has been approved a new nose on the car.
Really? Whose are they going to use?
They're going to use a 2014 Ford Fusion nose, which is more blunt than this year's because they've had problems with paper catching on the front.
More Durante than Streisand looking.
Well, I don't know about that comparison. Boy,
just,
where'd you stop before the show?
Nowhere. I just think this show is funny.
It's so yeah, in an attempt for NASCAR to equal up the three makes, they approved the nose on the Fusion for next year so that it is more blunt across the front, so that the paper, when it gets stuck to it, will fall off in equal amounts along with the Toyota.
That's what Roush is blaming all this on?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
whatever works.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Pretty exciting stuff. That's the breaking news of the week.
Official soft drink on pit road.
You don't see that just everywhere in the country.
You don't. Diet Vernors? No.
People,
no.
Well, Vernors of any kind. People in Arizona are probably watching this, and they have no idea what that is.
What the hell is that stuff? Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of like Yoo-Hoo Cola.
Sort of. It's the Detroit version. Except it's ginger ale, and it's not,
It doesn't taste like any other ginger ale in the world.
It's not chocolate.
Is ginger ale usually chocolate?
No, but I think Yoo-Hoo Cola isn't it? Usually chocolate? Yeah. That's all.
Oh, I'm confused now. I don't understand.
Welcome to my world, dude. Okay, so what else we got going this week?
Well, I don't know. This race sucked.
Four races into the chase or three?
This race really stunk. I was not excited about this race. There's nothing that came out of this race other than the fact.
Well, Jimmy Johnson won and tightened things up at the top.
There were 4 cautions in this race. All 4 of them were for errant spring rubbers. That was it. No contact, no banging, no bumping, no running into anybody.
So they
didn't
need the self-cleaning aspect of the race. If it's self-cleaning aspect for big wrecks, why isn't it self-cleaning aspect for spring
debris?
Rubbers?
Well,
spring rubbers, as I recall, they should roll down to the bottom.
Well,
of that
no,
racetrack.
they're only half. They're a half moon. They're only half of it. See, so they can't roll. They get roll. They get that far and then they stop. Oh, okay. And then they fall over and then they just sit there.
Then you got to stop the race.
You stop the race and you go out and you clean them up. And it takes. Why does it take 4 laps to clean up 1 spring rubber off of a racetrack? Quiz me this, Batman.
I don't know. They don't have the same kids going out and getting the they should get the kids that go out and get the kicking tees at the NFL.
Either
games.
that or the ones that get the balls at a tennis match.
Yeah,
they go running across the net.
Yeah,
nobody even knows that they're there.
Stationed all the way around the racetrack.
Yeah, worked in slot car racing.
Sure. Yeah, marshals. We call them marshals.
Yeah, you could just have.
They wouldn't even need magnetic sticks.
It could work for them though.
It could. All right, But this is really degrading.
Well, it's not. Actually, this is one of the. This is just a microcosm of the race that we had this week.
Yeah, trying to make it work. Yeah,
it was a boring show. Nothing happened, and there's nothing.
And the boringest driver in the field won the race. Is that what you're going to say?
I don't think Jimmy Johnson's actually that boring. I marvel at his ability to win races. He and Chad Knaus.
You think about it, how many other races could they? And you could say this about other drivers for certain races, but you can't. I don't believe you could say this about any other driver for as many races as these guys could have won 10 more races this year.
Can't they almost every year win 10 more races?
Yeah, but I mean, you can't say that about really anybody else, can you? Not one driver, maybe one team. Maybe you could say it about Gibbs Racing Team or something, but I don't think you can pick one driver out there and say, hey, they could have won 10 more races.
How many times?
Especially a driver who's won 6 anyway, or 7, or whatever.
How many times in the chase, in our chase history, which we've been there for all of them, have we seen the Jimmy Johnson 48 team take the last 4 races, 5 races, 6 races before the chase off?
A couple times at least.
To experiment, I
think the first time they did that, they decided that wasn't a good move. Because that was the year they didn't win. That was the first year they didn't win.
Right.
And but he went into that thing having dominated the pre-chase thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they do seem to take some time to get things right. They don't panic. There's a long-term plan. Chad Knaus, even though he's the
cheatingest crew chief there is, most likely.
Probably.
He's been compared to Smokey Yunick.
And he's really not very well. Like, we know some of the beat writers that really don't like the guy.
There's a lot of people that don't like the guy.
At all. I mean, well, the beat writers are usually pretty neutral. I mean, they'll be neutral about drivers. I haven't seen very many of them that are negative about any particular driver or that will tell us that they are, even off the record.
Right.
But we've had a couple of them off the record tell us they don't like Knaus. They can't get close to him. They don't feel like they ever get an answer. I mean, he's. I know you're a Lions football. He's the Jim Schwartz of NASCAR. Schwartz will tell you nothing. All right, nothing. And Knaus is kind of the same way. Well, I think.
Is that stupid?
No, it's probably.
I think it's probably pretty brilliant.
Get every edge you can get, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you.
I mean,
do whatever you can.
What's he done that's stupid? They got 5 championships. They're probably going to get 6.
This could be the year. I mean,
think so. I think they're going.
You're down to 3 guys, so. Yeah. He's got basically a 1 out of 3 shot.
Do you think does the 48 team have an advantage over the fact that the 2 teams that he's competing with are both from the same team? The 2 drivers they're competing with are both from the same team. I tend to think maybe they are because that Gibbs team is going to be sort of dividing resources away in a way.
Well, they're just dividing Denny Hamlin's resources.
Well, that's what I mean.
Well, that came down, Hamlin said that all of his best race cars were going to the other two teams for the duration.
Well, yeah. Then
so, I don't know how many good race cars he had, but
don't break your knee next year.
Poor guy. He's had so much ill luck. All right, well, let's go to our first break. When we come back, we're going to get hooked up with Michael Annette, who drives the number 43 car. That's a pretty iconic number for the Pilot Flying J in the Nationwide Series.
Yeah.
So Michael Annette's done a great job. Had a couple of serious deals early on this year. One of them, of course, at Daytona, where he was hurt quite badly, missed about 3 months of the race or race season, and we will talk with him when we come back.
See if he's back to normal.
We will see. All right. This is the fastest show on Ustream TV.
On Pit Row.
This is On Pit Row. On Pit Row.
Hi, this is Larry Allison.
Hey, I'm John West Townley.
Hi, guys. I'm Max Lapis.
Hi, folks. Ryan McGee here.
This is Booty Barker.
Hey, this is Larry McReynolds.
Hey, this is David Reagan.
Hey, this is Jeff Hamilton. And all the cool people hang on Pit Row.
The Bench Racing with Steve and Charlie blog on OnPitRow.com is a place to find the latest commentary on what is happening in the world of NASCAR. Bench Racing with Steve and Charlie is interactive, a place where reader reaction and comment is welcome. Discussion about whatever is happening in NASCAR can be found at Bench Racing with Steve and Charlie at OnPitRow.com. Find award-winning photography from NASCAR events around the country from our own stable of photographers. Bench Racing with Steve and Charlie is a member of the NASCAR Citizen Journalist Media Corps. NASCAR fantasy racing is huge, and OnPitRow.com is the place for fantasy racers to get all the latest news, stats, and analysis. Get all the NASCAR loop data on drivers and complete stats on every track. Compare your picks to those of 20 fantasy racing experts before and after the races. There's even a new live chat session for real-time fantasy advice. It's all at OnPitRow.com, the best from the pits to the press box.
Liking the On Pit Row Facebook page is the easiest way to watch or listen to On Pit Row at work or at home.
On Pit Row is live